I consider myself a paper florist. I create floral installations that make people take pictures. When people hear paper flowers and I say I'm a paper florist, they're like, oh, how cute. And then when they see it in person, they're like, oh. They've told me, like, I don't see how that's a real business.
I made my husband come in and look at your work, and he lost his mind. He was like, how is this possible? How does she do this? Oh my God, she must be making $1 million.
I'm subcontracted for people like Dolce Gabana, L'Oreal, Valentino. Being an artist in general is not easy. The flowers have helped me heal. It helps them bloom, just like it's helped me bloom. I have a way bigger voice in the flowers than I do actually myself.
There's only one thing on your to-do list. What are you waiting for? Hit subscribe.
The To-Do Show, the To-Do Show, the To-Do Show, the To-Do Show.
I'm so excited to talk to you. Before we started, I made my husband come in and look at your work, and he lost his mind. He was like, how is this possible? How does she do this? Oh my God, she must be making $1 million. That's so unique.
That
She
would
needs
be
to
awesome.
franchise this. We can franchise this, get this in Philly, and like this is huge. This is amazing. Yeah, so that was,
Aw, that's so sweet.
I've never seen him freak out like that over any art form ever.
That's awesome.
How do you normally answer the question, what do you do?
I did watch your podcast on YouTube. I'm so privileged to be on your podcast. I appreciate you
Oh,
for reaching
you're
out.
sweet.
So I consider myself a paper florist, but the proper response to the question, what do you do, is that I create floral installations that make people take pictures.
I love that you have an action included in that answer. Yeah, that feels like so tangible, and I could see how that would immediately lead to people being like, oh, I need to hire you. If that's the result I'm gonna get. No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very clever.
You-
Yeah, I saw I can't remember if it was on your website or on your Instagram, you talking about how you used to say, oh, I make paper flowers, and people would just think like Etsy, kids crafts, and
Yeah.
that you realized you needed to level up that wording and yeah, how has the response been different since you changed how you answer that question?
I actually came up with the language kit because I was personally confused with how people, like, they really had no comprehension of what I did. And it was really challenging because when people hear paper flowers and I say I'm a paper florist, they're like, oh, how cute. And then when they see it in person, they're like, oh.
Oh.
Their eyes are like, oh, wow, you're an artist. Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
They've told me, like, I don't see how that's an actual profitable business. I don't see how that's a real business. But then, like, I'm subcontracted for people like Dolce and Gabbana. And literally last week, I got subcontracted for a L'Oreal party. All of these high-end brands, Valentino, another paper florist, flew me out to New York for a week. And I worked for Valentino.
So what's your origin story? When did you first make a paper flower, and how did it turn into all of this?
I started in 2020 when a lot of other businesses started. I've always been crafty. 2020 was like my third strike. Like, it's either make it or break it. My husband and I were going through ups and downs at the time. We were going through challenges, and I felt very by myself, and the paper flowers were my escape. So I would stay up late and get up early, and it was my Garden of Eden, I guess you could say.
Oh.
Yeah.
And had you seen this online? Like, how did you even begin to know that this was a thing that you could do?
So my sister-in-law asked me to do some paper flowers for her mother, and so I did some creative ones. I was like, oh, this is fun. And me being me, I signed up for a wedding show, and I ended up doing a 12 by 12 foot wall, double-sided.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was just ludicrous, honestly. I had no idea what I was doing, and I did a butcher paper flower wall. It wasn't even cardstock, it was butcher paper because I could get it by the roll off of
Wow.
Amazon. And people were
Yeah.
loving it. And I had no idea what I was doing. How it all started was my sister in law asked me to do some paper flowers for her mother.
And can you give me some, like, 'cause I look at what you make and I'm like, yeah, like most people, I have no idea how you go from a piece of paper to these breathtaking, beautiful, enormous blooms. Like, can you tell me a little bit about the actual, like, how do you go from a piece of paper to that?
I discovered Italian crepe paper in 2021, which is when I started my business. And it was very popular in Russia and Korea. And it wasn't very popular here in the States. And I just stayed up late and got up early and watched YouTubes in Russian and Korean
What?
of how they make the giant paper flowers, and I winged it. I've been winging it for a long time because they would say stuff in millimeters, and that's not US. I would watch the videos and figure it out. I would try to recreate what I saw on Pinterest. My insurance lady came to the house. We were applying for life insurance at the time, so she was scheduling a nurse to take our blood and all that stuff. And she was like, "Did you make these? These are great." Like they were big slides, and she was like, "These are amazing. You need to be selling these." I ended up posting it on Facebook Marketplace, and I sold a set of 2, and I was like, "Oh, I made money. This is nice." And I tried it again, and I ended up getting a funeral. And my flowers were only probably like 18 inches at the time. My flowers have grown since then, and I went viral on TikTok. Like I said, I just did a subcontract for another paper florist for L'Oreal, and the biggest flower was 4 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are your clients usually split between like brands, weddings, funerals?
The majority of my clients are weddings. I'm trying to get more into brands, honestly, but the majority of my clients are weddings. They have a vision, and I make that vision come to life.
Aw. Does it feel any different for you making something for a wedding versus a brand?
No.
No, you're just loving making flowers regardless of where they end up.
Yeah. It's an expression for me because I can't say I'm quite outgoing like that. I have a style, but I'm not quote outgoing. It's crazy to say this out loud. I don't care who you represent or what you want the flowers for. It's like my flowers give a overall feel to whatever event they're
Yeah,
at. So
absolutely.
I could care less about what it's actually for. These are my flowers. I put my heart and my soul into those flowers. If I need help to complete the task, I do that. But I train the people that help me, and they put their heart and soul into it, and that's what it is. Like
Yeah. Do you reflect often on like your job and how you spend your time is giving this amazing gift of beauty and giving this feeling to people? Like that's what you do? How does that feel?
Well, the flowers were healing for me because, like I said, I was going through a rough patch at the time. So the flowers are healing, and they're a sense of being small and mattering in a big, big world. And it is the Alice in Wonderland effect, from the standpoint that what matters to me at the time may seem big, but when you put it in that atmosphere, it's really small. I just want other people to heal like the flowers have helped me heal, and
Aw.
it helps them bloom, and just like it's helped me bloom. So I have a way bigger voice in the flowers than I do actually myself. So I don't have to stand up and yell and all that stuff. The flowers can speak for me, and I'm okay with that, you know? So
That's beautiful.
thank you.
Do you ever have to like protect your love of the craft from the business side, or is it
Yeah,
effortless?
I've had to
Okay.
learn to say no to different things, and I've had to learn to protect it. I do care. because a lot of, forgive my language, a lot of people don't care. I could say something else, but I'm choosing not to. A lot of people don't, I mean, they could care less, and I do care. And it's been a challenge for me in all aspects of life because I do care. I still work. I'm a caregiver. I still work nights. I work from 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then I come home, we have breakfast. I take my son to school, and then I stay up from 8:30 to he gets out of school at 2:30, and I lay down around 5. So I guarantee myself I try to get 4 hours of sleep a day, which has been a challenge. It's not easy.
Wow, that's wild. I can't believe you're maintaining a full-time career on top of running this business. My goodness.
Yeah. So that's when I
Is that
said, I don't know if you saw my post on Instagram. It was like my to-do list. I'm not that organized. I haven't been diagnosed, but I know I'm lightweight dyslexic. So it's a challenge for me to even just writing a to-do list is a challenge. Like I've been I've been talking to my mom about it for the last like 2 weeks. I'm like, how do you write all this? And she was like, no, you write this and then you can put it into it. I'm like, I don't want to write all that. That's just a lot. It's just, yeah.
how do you keep track of stuff? Like when you have, 3 different wedding clients and 2 brands and like all of these different flowers, how is that all just being stored in your head, or how do you know what you're doing?
I would say 80% of it is in my head. I do write down, like, okay, let's just say brandy wedding, and I write down 10 peonies, 2 roses. And then for the other stuff, I write down what is needed for that project. I do have helpers that help me. I'll have the cutter cut those things, and then the person that's helping me glue. So whoever's helping me glue, I assign them that thing. But unfortunately, it is pretty jumbled in my head just because
Hey,
it's
it's
a
working.
challenge.
Do you want to continue being a full-time caregiver, or if Petal Loft was making enough money, you would like to go full-time with that? Like as in not doing another thing full-time as well.
Totally. I'm actually at right here with it. So technically, I'm bringing in as much as I'm making, but I want to be here, and saying like
Yeah,
I want
that
to
makes
be
sense.
above that. But technically,
Yeah.
right now, I'm right here. So I'm having a hard time breaking that. The world works in seasons and waves. So I'm believing that right now in this season, I'm right here, and in another season, I'll be here. So I can let
Yeah.
go of the other job.
Well, I hope that season comes quickly. I want you to get more sleep too. I saw that you also teach classes. How often are you doing that? And do you worry at all about creating competitors, or are you happy to bring more flower people into the world?
Yeah, there's enough in the world for everybody. That's my belief.
It's nice.
Yeah, so I do classes once a month now that I have a studio, which I'm very grateful for. I believe there's enough in the world for everybody. Because what you would teach is different than what I would teach, and who's for you is different than who's for me. So
Yeah. Well
that's,
said.
that's my belief.
So obviously paper flowers last a lot longer than fresh flowers. How much does like longevity and sustainability factor into what you do and how you think about what you do?
The paper flowers last really long. So I use
Yeah.
180-gram crepe paper, Italian crepe paper. It's not the crepe paper that from the streamers you get from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I've actually had a set of white peonies have lasted me about 3 years. So my rentals bring in the most money because I don't have to make new flowers for those.
You create whatever set of flowers and then you rent them out to weddings? Is
I
that?
reuse them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I reuse a lot of my flowers. My rentals are my big money maker. I've had a set of flowers last up to 3 years.
Wow. That's so cool. And either with weddings or brands, do you find that the clients you're getting that sustainability is something that they care
They're
about?
looking
Like,
for.
is that
Yeah, I do.
yeah,
That's a
nice.
major thing that they're looking for.
Yeah, 3 years. That's amazing. Okay, yeah, I want to get into the list you sent me. So you sent me a wedding fair setup checklist. So
Mhm.
this is like you're going to a fair. Is this for you to a way that you're advertising that you exist? Is that mostly what a fair is for?
Yes.
Walk me through this list a bit, the setup checklist.
The majority of the brides, they like an entrance way. So I have a setup for the entrance way, and then they like a setup around the sweetheart table. And usually I just move whatever's around the entranceway to the sweetheart table. And then sometimes they like the same setup around the altar. So I'm just basically moving the flowers, the same flowers from one location to the next.
Does that mean you need to be present at every wedding that you're supplying flowers for? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'd say 80% of the time, yeah, that I'm present and I'm moving the flowers for those. Yeah.
Your other list, I see it says Las Vegas. I don't really know what this list is. Can you tell me about this list?
That was the most recent one. We sent 3 different size flowers to them. So there's 3 different templates that you're seeing on the checklist. Then that's what I gave to my assistants. There was a 4-foot flower, a 3-foot flower, and a 2-foot flower. So we did 9 2-foot flowers, 6 3-foot flowers, and 5 4-foot flowers.
Wow.
And that's the one that we were subcontracted for the L'Oreal
Oh, cool.
party. So I come up with a design and my assistants replicate it. And it's not always spot on, but it's done. We cut and we wire them. I try to wire them because having wire in the petals helps the flower last longer. You can close it and open it just like you would do an umbrella.
What does a typical week for you look like in the petal off business in terms of actually creating flowers, going in person to events, and then like general admin and marketing stuff? Like how are those 3 things distributed in any given week?
My marketing is purely social media.
You're also going to some fairs and stuff, right? Like that counts as marketing.
Technically, yes. I've done wedding MBA in Las Vegas. Yeah, you're right. I've done some big wedding fairs here in California, but it's majority social media. So I've gone viral a few times on social media. So that's where the majority of where I get my clients from. And then
Wow.
there's a really big paper florist community, and we're not competitive. We really encourage each other and we want to see each other succeed. So when somebody needs help, they'll ask. Or if somebody is like approached by the same person, they'll like, hey, were you approached by this guy? Like he asked me for this amount. Like, is he asking you for that amount? That type of thing. It's a really solid community. I really appreciate the paper flower community. And we're all across the US. Like I'm in California and there's people in New York, there's people in Texas, there's people in Wisconsin. I just have a lot of gratitude and thankfulness for what I have. I'm just grateful for everything. It's not easy. Being an artist in general is not easy. It's a challenge.
Especially when you're an artist and a business owner of your art form, like having to do all of that admin in order to be creative. It's like those 2 things don't easily go together, but you got to do it.
It's reality. You don't become a business overnight. On the average, it takes 3 years? And then when you're a creative, they look at you sideways. It might take 3 years to get the profit and then the extra 2 just to prove that I make paper flowers and I make money at it. Like it's a concept that a lot of people are challenged with. They're like, that's not a real business. Like, tell Dolce and Gabbana that.
Yeah. You tell them. Final question. If you could see anybody's to-do list, whether that be a specific person or a job title, whose to-do list would you most like to see?
Ooh, good question. I used to do hair and makeup, so I would love to see Pat McGrath to-do list. I don't know if you know who
Is
that
that like a
is.
famous makeup artist? No, you
Yeah,
don't tell me about Pat McGrath.
Pat McGrath. Google her. She's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Good answer. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to share or promote or talk about?
I would like to share. I have a language kit, and that's a challenge I really have had over the years. I've been in business since 2021 officially, and so I'm 5 years deep in now. Language is a thing, especially for
Yeah.
creatives, because the big brands, they want to hear corporate language. And
Mm,
being a quote unquote crafter, we don't speak corporate language. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is a huge deal.
yeah,
It's a huge deal.
absolutely.
So I have a language
So the
kit.
language kit helps creatives to speak the corporate language
Yeah,
about their services.
yeah, yeah,
Nice. That's awesome. That's such an amazing thing to offer to the creative community.
yeah.
Sure, that's
I,
very
I I
helpful.
used it for myself, and I'm still memorizing some of the stuff that I need to memorize. I have a little alert on my phone to help me with that. I haven't had a quote corporate job. Like my sister, she has a Kaiser job. She knows how to talk that language. I don't. I just don't know that language. And
Yeah.
to learn that language, it's a challenge. It's a
Yeah,
challenge.
absolutely.
But I feel like in order to be taken seriously, they want to see that language. It's important. So that I would say that's my ending message is that it does matter.
Well, I will link to your language kit in the description.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's really great. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. It was great to get to learn the ins and outs of giant florals. I'll put your Instagram in the description. You guys have to see these flowers. They're
Yeah.
insane. They're so cool.
Usually when I say I make paper flowers or I'm a paper florist, they're like, "Oh, how cute." And then when they see it, they're like, "Oh."
Wow. Yeah,
So, yeah,
absolutely. They definitely have wow factor.
I appreciate
Yes,
that.
you should
Thank
sit.
you very much. I appreciate you doing this and featuring people that do different things. That's very noble of you.
Absolutely. Noble. Yes. Well, I'm just very curious about people, especially when I see them doing something that I'm like, how do you do that? Like, I just want to, yeah, it's great to have an excuse to get to connect with random strangers on the internet and get to ask you all of my questions and feature your work and share you with more people, hopefully. I hope you're a millionaire by the end of 2026 for sure.
Oh, thank you. I received that.
I hope you have a wonderful evening. It was so lovely to chat with you.
You too.
I'm Jen Tracy, and you've been watching The To-Do Show. If you're curious about how other people tackle their days, and honestly, who isn't, there's another conversation right here that'll probably surprise you. Go check it out. And here's something interesting. There's actually research showing that people fall into 8 distinct patterns when it comes to how they organize their lives. Productivity and psychology experts like Adam Grant and Gretchen Rubin have been studying this for years. We built a quiz based on that research, and people keep telling us it's weirdly accurate. It takes about 5 minutes, and you'll understand why certain systems work for you and why others never stick. Head to thetodoshow.com or check the link in the description to take the quiz. And please, please, please hit subscribe, and you can check that off your to-do list.